Hey folks, welcome to MACT Ford Edge and of course our Facebook live video, and of course we're got a lot of things going on. It's been a pretty busy week, and as you saw from the video I put out the other day that did a lot of work on my wife's Edge, sort of tore it apart and put it back together again. This is primarily the first interior videos I've been working on for the most part. I've done a few things here and there, but this one, what I did is I took the front seat out on the passenger side, took the blower motor out of underneath the dash, and of course you saw the video where I super cleaned the HVAC system in my wife's Ford Edge. So got quite a few things that were going on there, and I did them all at the same time, so I'll break that into 3 different videos. But first I want to take and thank the new group members for joining, and we got quite a little list here. Let me see if I go through it. Carmand, Howard, and Abdil, Harley, Michael, Rhonda, Armando, Paul, Hanifa, Anthony, James, Lee, Dre, Kevin, Alvaro, Zayar, Angelo, Arsalan, Patty, Lori, Campora, Juan, Josh, and another Juan and Carrie, Philip, Michael, and another Michael, 2 Michaels, and a Mizimo. And that is the new group members that have joined here on MACT Ford Edge Facebook group. And of course we've been talking about a lot of things, and always I go through some of the group discussions to find out what's going on, and also give a video response to what is happening. And you folks are always busy doing something. And of course I will start out with my statement I made here about a week ago or so, is that I have a Edge with 205,000 miles on it, and I have nothing to repair. The maintenance is done. There's a few things I could do. I'm just waiting to do. They're not, what I need to do right now. Maybe some belt replacement here, but that's not impending to be done. So pretty much not much to do on it. It's running sharp and carrying down the road like it's supposed to. So I don't know what this says about it, but I do maintain the heck out of it. So it goes to show you the maintenance does work. And even though I am all highway, I think you can achieve that with city, because I keep Mom Osh's Blueberry Edge running pretty good, and she has no issues. And it was her Edge that I tore apart. I didn't want to tear mine apart. I'd tear hers apart. Save me some grief there if something don't work right, that I can at least get it fixed at a later date. So anyway, got that all taken care of, and mine's running good. So I'm having to invent things to fix or just do videos on, because there is nothing to repair at this time. Now, you guys will say, well, I just jinked myself and the motor will blow up or something, but I doubt that'll happen. But carrying on through, we did a little bit of a pull, and I put a pull out there on sockets. Which socket do you lose the most? And the 10 millimeter seems to be the elusive critter that it is, and we have a hard time hanging on to that bad boy. Apparently, we need to buy them by the bucket. Yes. You go to there and buy a 10 millimeter, you got to buy the whole socket set, it seems. It's not like they sell them individually half the time. So I just relate my story. I was doing the video yesterday, and I felt I had everything. I found the rubber hose I needed. I had the hose clamps. I had the camera. I had the videos. I had all the things that I needed. So I thought. Anyway, went to go prep. I always prep. Do I have the right tools handy and get everything lined up? So I went and checked the bolts on the seat that hold it to the floor, and I thought, okay, it's either going to be 17, 15, something like that. No, it wasn't that. It was an 18 millimeter. Okay, so here comes the fiasco. Anyway, I must be getting old. So anyway, I had a 17 and a 19, and I looked at all my socket sets, my impacts, everything. I had not one single 18 millimeter socket. Matter of fact, all the sockets I bought were 15, 17, 19. There wasn't a 16 or an 18 to be found. And I know darn well that's what they came with. They did not come with those even numbers like that. So I'm thinking, well, what do I do? So, yeah, guess what, folks? I ran up to our favorite store. Yes, you know it. Harbor Freight. They're good for the last minute thing, and they're really close to me, so I can run up there and buy some sockets. So I went up there and I got looking, and yeah, by golly, there's a socket, and it has, all the way up through, even numbers and odd numbers. I'm they're not impacts, but what the heck? I'll buy that. And then I saw a Torx set that I wanted to get, and it was pretty inexpensive, so I grabbed that and the socket set, and I paid for it, run out the door, head to the house. Yeah, I got there. Guess what? I bought a 1/2-inch driver set. I didn't even have a 1/2-inch ratchet. So, anyway, back into the car I go, and I go to my favorite store again. Now, I didn't turn these in because I wanted to hang on to it because it was a 1/2-inch drive. But I said, well, I can fix that. I'll go buy me a 1/2-inch ratchet because I didn't have one, so I might as well get one, right? It dawned on me, I always go to the garage and they always got all the ratchets, so I never really needed one. So anyway, got me a 1/2-inch ratchet, and then of course I then decided, well, heck, I might as well get the 3/8-inch socket with all the even number millimeter readings and everything on there. So I went and got another one because I am a Harbor Freight member. I guess I get a discount. But anyway, I went through this, got all that, and then I ended up, they had on sale. I bought some flashlight. I can't get out of that place to save my life without spending money. Anyway, make the story short. I ended up getting it, got the sockets, and then of course everything worked because my Milwaukee uses 3/8-inch also. So, I wanted to use the Milwaukee, so that's why I went and bought the 3/8. And then I got a 1/2-inch ratchet just in case I run across that, because I have a lot of 1/2-inch sockets, but no ratchet. So anyway, let's say about, $60 later. Yes, I do have 2 new socket sets, a 1/2-inch ratchet, new flashlights, and a Torx set. Yes. And anyway, went and decided to do the video. Finally got that whole thing figured out, got everything going, and then made the video. So yes, that was my extra hour or so trying to prep. But anyway, got more tools out of the deal. I just didn't tell Mom Osha that I bought them. I put them in the garage in my toolbox real quick and hope she never goes in there. Anyway, do have them. Let's see, we got a lot of folks up here just putting out colors, and they said the colors, there's a discussion on colors on the Ford Edge. And there's a picture up here by Cam, and he put a black one and a white one, both sports, I believe was what they are. Not sure. I think they are. Anyway, they're just, they're discussing colors. And it is really interesting, folks. A long time ago, I was looking into colors of vehicles and how they, they show a person's persona in what they believe and do and all this other stuff. Because a lot of people will pick a car by color that they like, and there's a reason behind why they like that color. And it turned out, as you go down the scale, black is a power color. We're talking businessmen. Where I work, all the producers and stuff that do sales and all that stuff, a lot of them own a black vehicle. Yeah, they do. It's a personality thing. And then the next power color, you'll see, and think about this, you always see limousines either black or white. Think about that. And then, of course, white is the second tier power color. Okay? So you got black being the first tier and white being second tier. And then it breaks down. I think silver or gray comes into it, and that's more of a better choice of words. It's sort of more low-key, but yet maybe a business option there. And of course, then you got those colors, and then you start getting into other things. Like me, I was driving the Orange Crush, and now I'm driving the Bordeaux Red Metallic. And when you start getting into these other colors like that, more subdued but not real brilliant, and I sort of got subdued and brilliant, it sort of displays more of a flamboyant or outgoing thing, and how your personality is. So, careless and all this other stuff. Red is another power color, by the way, but it is not a good power color. It means you're more aggressive and more, yeah. So that's up there. Red follows up after the white, but the other colors, they're sort of up for grabs as far as how your personality is. And it's just interesting what I read on everything that could be done. So, we just want to make sure that we pick the color we like, right? And of course, I've owned a lot of different colors: black, white, red, yellow. I'm not one to stick to one color. I got a blue, and I got a Bordeaux Red metallic, and now I got a blue truck. So, colors really go there. But anyway, enough on the colors. What we also have is the air filters. And I guess this weekend is the weekend of air filters. And of course, I made a couple videos how to change them for the cabin air filter and how dirty they get and how to wash them, folks. So if you want to be frugal, you can wash the air filters, as long as it's not a paper one. And you'll know if it's a paper one or not. If you have a square filter, then it's a paper one. But if you buy the ones that are flat with ribs and they're real pliable, those are of course washable, because they're essentially like a nylon fiber, and totally washable. Just don't wring them out and scrunch them. You'll ruin the edges and they won't sit right. But you can press them down and dry them and all that good stuff, and they'll be good. That's what I've been doing, and I just keep rotating them through and letting them dry, and then changing them out as needed. So filters like that, you can reuse and reuse. Now, we do have Steven. Steven, you guys know Steven, that what do you call him? I don't know, the flamboyant personality that he is. He's our Snap-on guy, no less. And, of course, he's rewiring his Edge for trailer towing, because he installed successfully, pretty much, a nice-looking hitch on his Ford Edge Sport, which will lead to our subject on trailer towing. I might disappoint him a little bit, but we'll cover that into how to tow safely. So let's move on. He's doing that, and follow him. He's taking some nice pictures on that. And of course, I'm sure his experiences will be translated to you all in how to do it and not do it, because there are mistakes I think he made along the way. But hey, we all learn from our mistakes. At least I hope so. I try to. Let's see, Claude. Claude's got residue problems. She was working on the back of the Edge, and just ran across all sorts of weird stuff back there. Don't know. Hopefully she cleaned it all up. It wasn't nothing terrible. But let's see. We got Jay Hartsfield. Holman's getting the Edge from a cream color to a, what is that you're painting? Metallic black. I cannot wait to see that shiny metallic black paint job on that Edge. That is a big changeover, and it takes a lot of work to go from a light color to a black color like that. So it's going to be quite an ordeal for the body shop, but I'm sure they've done it before. So fingers crossed everything turns out and it looks sharp. Steve Cole. Yes, Steve, you're getting into the exhaust system here, and of course, yes, there are a lot of things you can do to your exhaust. Delete the resonator and just put a straight pipe and run the mufflers. Many people have taken and tried to do dual exhaust. Others, it just depends what you want, and all this exhausting work that goes with it. Yeah, okay, enough of the puns. But anyway, I'm sure whatever it is he wants to achieve, it'll be loud. So I can't wait to hear the fine-tuning of it, to hear what's going on there, because I'm sure it'll be nice. And then see, we got Oresha. you have an AC that you want to charge up, and hopefully there's no leak. But just as I mentioned to her, is that the higher the temperature goes, the less efficient your AC is. So look at 30 degrees or so, I think they say. I might be wrong. I think it's 30 degrees below the temp of the ambient temp outside is what your AC can efficiently cool down to. So if it's 90, then it'll cool down to 60. If it's 100, it'll cool down to 70. That's usually how it all works out. I might be wrong on that number of difference, but you just keep in mind that the heat outside affects how the condenser cools off, and everything goes around how it can condense and keep the evaporation going in the system. If you don't know how an AC system works, I would suggest going to YouTube and reading it. That'll give you more clarification on why it can't cool down once it gets really hot. And same way, if it gets too cold, it doesn't become very efficient either. So there's a fine line in there someplace. Let's see, Ryan. I'm going to put it out for you, buddy. Ryan Oliveros. I hope I pronounced your name right, Ryan. But he has some, what do you say those are? Husky mats for sale. Slightly used, it looks like. But he's willing to sell them. So I guess you can negotiate with him, PM him if you want to buy them. They're for a 2007 through 2010 Ford Edge. It looks like they're tan in color. So if you're in the market for some Husky mats, it might be a worthwhile endeavor there to help him out, get him off his hands, and then you get some mats out of the deal. Victor Breeden, he's of course drowning his horn. Yes, he does not, and for some reason, he is not taking my advice online. I told him I could help him, and he just hasn't bid off on it. I was going to help him with his horn. I says, all we got to do is install an air compressor system in the back of your Edge, get up underneath there and install a freight train horn, and he'll have plenty of noise wherever he goes. Might be illegal, but hey, it would sure be fun, wouldn't it? Anyway, there's some videos on YouTube of that too. Okay, Steven, he put up a video. He wanted to know which wire to cut. I say cut them all. But we doubt that he put that up there for a reason. He's just trying to get everybody excited. But I know he didn't cut it because he's doing a plug and play. I don't even know why he's got wire cutters in his hand. Anyway, let's see. We got a few other things. We got Michael and Miranda. They're looking for an Edge. So, they got questions about the all-wheel drive system, and they're new members. So by all means, help them out and answer the questions they may have concerning that. And then, of course, we have Robert Maddox. He had a leak, and then they determined it was from the axle boot, and it was leaking. It either got tear or cut or something in there. Whole new axle needed, because once you lose the grease, it's hard to come back from that. So he's getting that fixed. And you all saw this. Yes, you saw my my key fob. Yeah, my key fob. My wife's key fob to her Edge is a push button. Okay? And the middle button to unlock no longer pops or clicks or anything like that. And I went on Amazon, of all places. Yes, I go there a lot. And they sell just the case. Now, you can take the guts out of that thing, put it into the case, and boom, you're off and running. What I really needed was the rubber inset, because I have determined that the rubber part broke, and that is why it's no longer clicking. And I'll make a video on that, on replacing it and fixing it and showing you what happens. But I was rather surprised on how it failed. I wasn't expecting that. I thought, man, there's more to it when you pop that button. And folks, once I show you, you will see that, wow, it's that simple, yet it failed. Okay, so I don't know what my wife is doing. Is she just pressing the heck out of the button or what happened? But anyway, it's gone. It's toast. So, and I checked the key fob with other buttons on it by moving it up, and press it, and it works great. It unlocks the door and everything. So it's not the internals, it's just the little rubber piece that broke. So I'll show you what happened and make a video of that, and I think you'll find that. But it's only a $15 thing. Yeah, you can buy these for $15. Just the case. You don't have the innards, and you don't have to program it or anything, because all you're doing is taking the circuit board out and putting it in the new one, and off you go to the races. You're set. So it's really a simple fix if you want to update it. Besides hers, you know, look at mine. All the chrome's wore off of it and everything else. It's looking all nasty. So, and then her new one's going to have brand new chrome. It's going to be looking fantastic. So we're going to get that all situated. But what else do we have here? We had gas pump wars. Who's paying the most for gas? Apparently the Canadians. Don't know. Thought they had all that oil up there. But anyway, I put two cans of Techron in my tank and filled it up. So I put 19.1 gallons in. So you figure those 2 bottles of Techron probably accounted for, you know, a little bit. So I probably put 19.5 gallons of gas in my Edge, and it said I had 3 miles to go till empty. So I'm assuming I had at least another gallon in there, maybe 2. So how much does the Ford Edge gas tank hold? Don't know. So anyway, let's see. We got a lot of other things going on there. To answer the polls, look what's going on, and then and I'm going to make a video, folks, because I'm always asked this. So I'm going to take and answer the question, does a full-size tire fit in the spare compartment? I'll do a video on it. I'm going to take a lot of different angles to it and things to do to try to get it to fit. And we'll see if we can get it to fit. And then I'll let you know when I post a video on that. We'll see what it does. Get a lot of questions on that, so I figured why not make a video and answer the question. Anyway, Andrew Juett, he went camping, and here's leading into the thing. And I'll do a lead off with Andrew. Okay, he has his 2000, I think it's 15 Ford Edge. I think it's an SEL, all-wheel drive. And he was towing, and while he was towing his camper back home, the all-wheel drive system disabled itself. Okay, heat or something happened to it to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's probably heat. It got overworked. So it disabled itself for whatever reason. It could be other reasons, but towing is hard, because keep in mind that the weight you're putting on the rear wheels and everything else translates up to the front, and as you're trying to pull, the front wheels don't get as much traction. The rear wheels have to do more work. It probably overworked the PTU, and it disabled itself from all-wheel drive because it was too much. So we're going to jump into that here as far as the Ford Edge goes, and talk about trailering. So leading off into that, since I talked about Andrew's issue on that, there's a lot of different things that we're going to go over. First of all, this is direct from the Ford site. I got to read it because I don't have a memory span that can handle that. But as a rule, the 2-liter EcoBoost is, of course, rated for 3,500 pounds of towing if it has a towing package with it. The 2.7 EcoBoost, sorry you sports folks, 2,000 pounds. That's it. Then the 3.5, go 3.5, front wheel drive and all wheel drive, 3,500 pounds. But keep in mind they all require, okay, let's see, the 2.0 and the 3.5 require a Class 2 hitch and trailer towing package. Now, I think we get into the weeds a little bit because it has, is it a dealer installed requirement is what you're looking at. And because if you don't have it, then you're lacking some of the trailer towing capabilities that are built into one that has trailer towing. Okay, so we have a problem there. Number 2 is they specifically state the 2.7 Edge does not offer factory or dealer installed towing equipment for the 2.7. They won't do it. Okay? Why don't they do it? Well, folks, it comes down to the engine as the power, and that's the problem. The engine has the power. And if you put a trailer on it, it don't work out well. That 6F55, I think, is they're putting in there now. That thing will just grenade itself because you're already so close to the maximum abilities of the transmission that if you put a 3,500-pound trailer on the back of it, you're going to have all sorts of issues. So you're going to have problems with towing. Let's see. Edge. Here's another thing. If you're towing a trailer, say you go out and you buy, or not buy, maybe buy, but you rent a U-Haul trailer. You know, one of the box ones? Yeah. Ford has a limit on that because keep in mind, when you're towing, the edge is down here and the trailer's up here, right? And the wind's all hitting it right there. Now, Ford also has a square foot rating for your frontal area exposures. And for base model, without a Class 2 trailer towing package, for the Edge is a maximum of 20 square feet of exposed trailer over the top of the Edge. Okay, 20 square feet. That's it. And for the Class 2 towing package, it is 30 square feet. Okay, so that, and the reason they say that is the wind pressure that you're putting on it adds extra load, extra stress to the engine, and extra stress to the transmission. And that's really all about towing. And I've towed, I got a 31-foot camper I have, okay? I know about wind forces, yeah. Try towing a 31. I know some of you got big trailers, and some of you drive trucks, so you know what I'm talking about. Wind has a big effect on drag, so it does cause problems there. Now, as far as factory installed hitch options, Class 2 trailer hitch, and of course, the option package is a code 53G. It may have changed, but this is off the 2017 Edge. So you want to make sure that you do have the right trailer package, because keep in mind, a package includes transmission cooling, okay, increased transmission cooling, bigger radiator, all this other stuff that goes with it. So if you're just slapping a hitch on it and saying, I'm good, you know, it may not be the case. You may have problems. The other thing on the Edge, you have a 3,500-pound towing capacity. Yay. But you have a 350-pound tongue weight, folks. And that, pay attention to that tongue weight. I'm going to do some math, so I want you to break out your calculators because I think I'm going to shock the heck out of you folks that are towing campers, because you know what? There's a lot more to it than just slapping that hitch on. But anyway, if you're going to be doing that and you're going to be driving around, it says here that if you're going to have a trailer hitch installed on your 2017 Edge, you must drive at 1,000 miles without towing first. Mandatory break-in period before towing. Okay? And make sure you, I guess, you have the trailer weighed, critical weight limits, and all this stuff. And I'm going to talk about weight limits here in a bit. But, of course, it has a braking system, and I'll cover what trailers, like me in Iowa, I'll go over what the Iowa rules are. Your rules in your state may differ. But there are a lot of rules that come into play when you're going to start towing with your Edge. And I'm not even talking about towing the Edge, I'm talking towing with the Edge. So, here's another thing. For those of you who like to go up into the mountains, if you are towing with your Edge, the gasoline engines lose power about 3 to 4% per 1,000 foot, starting at 1,000 feet. Okay, so if you go up 10,000 feet, you're losing 30 to 40%, right? Something like that? Good math? Okay, so anyway, to maintain your performance and reduce your gross vehicle weights and stuff, you got to reduce your weight by 2% as you go up. So basically, higher elevations lose power, you need to reduce weight, according to Ford. That's what they're saying. So you got to make sure that you do follow all that when you're doing it. Now, I got something to bring up to y'all. We're going to start talking, one, Iowa trailer regulations, brake laws, and everything else. Any gross vehicle weighted trailer of 3,000 pounds or more must have electronic braking systems on them. Must have a separate and independent braking system that can maintain adequate control and stop the trailer. So in other words, what most trailers, like my 31-footer, has is it has a electromagnetic braking system. You know, it has a brake controller and the magnets make the brakes work. It's pretty standard on most trailers. Then it also has an emergency brake system with a cable that is hooked to the hitch. Okay? And should the hitch and the vehicle, tow vehicle, separate, it will then pull this cable onto this electronic brake and it will slam the brakes on the trailer. And that's in case there's a separation. It'll just outright stop the trailer. If it breaks free of the chains, then it just activates that brake by pulling that cable. So that's how that works. But the thing is, they have to be self-actuated. You must be able to control the brakes within the cab. And if you buy a brake controller to tow your camper with your Edge, you get that installed, and then it has levers on it or a button or something, or a dial where you can independently hit up the gain on it and make those brakes activate from remote control without using your push brake in case something fails. So you do have that option on those too. But basically we're looking at a lot of different weights as far as the vehicles, and some of them that stand out are, of course, a gross vehicle weight of the vehicle. And here's the thing with those. Okay, the GVWR, okay, on my Ford Edge is 3,580 pounds. Yeah, that's the gross. Now, what we got to do is subtract the weight of our Edge. So just to make math round and easy, I carry a lot in my Edge. Okay, so let's say my Edge weighs 4,500 pounds. That's not far off from an all-wheel drive Edge. Okay, pretty much most of you will have. So if you look the stats up, you'll see I'm pretty much on that, is 4,500 pounds. Now what that leaves us with, and I'm doing rough math here, let's just round it up, give you a benefit of the doubt. Just like my Edge says I have like 909 pounds of leeway, we'll make it easy. 900 pounds. Okay? So I got 900 pounds to work with when I'm towing my 3,500 pound trailer, right? Yeah, 900 pounds. Okay? Now, stop and think about this. That's dry weight. Yeah, Ford's not going to mess around with you. They're going to make it dry weight. What does dry weight mean? It means that they did not weigh it with a full tank of gas. So, you got 900 pounds. You subtract a full tank of gas, say 19.5 gallons of fuel, it comes out to roughly 156 pounds in your gas tank. Subtract that from the 900 pounds. Then you got mom, dad, kids in the car. So I'm going to be conservative and say, let's say the family of four, dad, mom, 2 kids, 500 pounds. So we got our 900 minus 156. That came down to 744. Then we subtract our 500 for our butts, right? And we come out to 244 pounds. Guess what? You have to put the trailer on the hitch. Hey, keep in mind that 350 pounds comes out of the Ford Edge gross vehicle weight. So we subtract 350, we end up minus 106 pounds. Hey, did we forget to put the dogs in? Minus 50 pounds, not big dogs, right? 156 pounds in the negative. Oh, wait, everybody's got a 25-pound suitcase. Minus 100. Now we're 256 pounds over our limit. But we still have the cooler, right? We still have all the gear. Another 100 pounds, easy. Now we're 356 pounds in our Edge, overloaded. Yeah, overloaded. You're now losing handling, because now the suspension is overloaded and now you're going to have handling problems. That is what Ford isn't telling you. So if you load your trailer up and you put your trailer on the back of your edge, and you go up to that 3,500 pound limit or even 3,000, you're having issues, okay? You're going to start having towing, handling, and other issues while you're going. Now keep in mind, if you start getting up to a 3,000, over a 3,000 pound trailer, keep in mind a load distributing hitch is required. That means you must have the spring loaders on there. If you guys don't know what it is, then you're not towing. But it has spring bars, torsion bars on it with chains. You got to lift them up, and then you got the hitch. And trust me, the hitch weighs about 70 pounds all by itself. It is a monster. Okay, and then of course you got everything else that you're going on there and hooking up. So keep in mind, you're going to run out of weight capacity. You're adding all this weight. And your trailer too. You always make sure your trailer, keep in mind your trailer weight is based on dry weight, not wet weight. So if you're putting water in it and camping gear and got sewer tanks on it or anything like that, they got anything in them, that all adds to the weight, folks. Now, why do we worry about this? You got to have sway bars too, okay? Your trailer at over 3,000 pounds must have a sway bar control to keep the tail from wagging the dog, as they say. So you don't want the tail to wag the dog, then you end up in the ditch or dead, So safe trailering is definitely a paramount issue with everything, and you want to make sure you do check it. Do it safely, folks. The Edge is not a towing vehicle. The Edge is a lightweight trailer, towing my golf cart, to the golf course or making a run to Lowe's type trailer towing. They're not meant this thing to really take and go camping in and hauling big trailers, folks. It is not designed for that, okay? They're trying to sell you something to say, oh yeah, I can tow my boat with it or my trailer. And yes, you probably can. I'm not going to say you can't, but can you do it safely? Based on what I outlined on your capacities, if you did the math, you'll understand just what I told you. That is this, okay? That is what it is. That is what you are losing in handling capability and everything else. And it's no fun if the tail starts wagging the dog, folks. You cannot get out of it. If you're just a novice trailer tower, even experienced folks have problems with that, okay? There's certain things you can do, but in the long run, you are at the mercy of whatever direction that trailer wants you to go. Because quite frankly, the trailer gets heavier than the car, now you're in trouble. So you don't have a lot of leeway there. But preaching on you, but I just want to make sure everybody understands the laws and everything else. And of course, you got to have proper mirrors and proper lights, and that all goes with the trailers things. And I will also note one other thing. Tire pressure is very important. You don't want to end up getting a zipper effect on your tires. Having low tires runs the sidewalls hotter and then they just rip out. So you want to make sure your tires are in good shape. And keep in mind, if you are towing, you guys can double check me, but you go to any place that sells tires, and I guarantee you the trailer tires are probably, you're lucky if they're rated for 65 mile an hour. They do not sell many tires that are rated for high speed, okay? If you're buying a trailer tire, they're not rated for a lot of high speed. So check in the speed ratings of the trailer tire you put on your trailer, and I bet you anything, if you went and checked that out, you will find you're exceeding the speed capabilities of your tires. That's why you see a lot of trailer tires blow out, because people are doing 75 mile an hour down the highway, and the trailer tire is probably only rated for 50 or 60 mile an hour. Yeah, so you end up getting problems there. And two, trailer tires, how many times I've seen a dry rotted trailer tire? I've seen a lot of dry rotted trailer tires. My trailer tires are mine if I want to tow it anywhere from now on, since it is at a permanent site. If I got to tow it, I'm going to put 4 new tires on it, because they've been on that thing forever. They're no good anymore. They're good enough to move around the campsite. That's about it. Otherwise, I've put 2 new tires or 4 new tires on it, because it's a twin torsion axle camper. So, we're just going to have to do that. But I'm not trying to scare you all out of towing. I mean, you can tow, just don't think that 3,500 pounds is, if you're going to get a trailer and you're going to start towing, it's going to weigh 3,000 pounds when you buy it. Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. It is so easy to overload. I see that time and time again. The camper guy wants to sell you the camper. He says, oh yeah, it weighs 3,000 pounds. You can buy it. Yeah, you can't. Not only that, but towing is also severe service for your edge. And if you are towing with your edge, then your transmission gets changed out, the fluid every 30,000 miles. Your oil has to be changed out every 3,000 miles. And not only that, you might have other things, stress on the tranny anyway, stress on the engine, all sorts of things. Changing everything more often because it does create more stress and therefore requires higher or more frequent maintenance intervals. So that really comes out to it. Again, the Edge can be a great vehicle to tow small, lightweight trailers. But as, like Andrew figured out as he posted, the all-wheel drive system puts a lot of force into that PTU because, face it, a front-wheel drive primary vehicle, those front tires, when you get it loaded, it's going to be doing this because you don't have a leveling system, so it's going to squat on you, and that means there's less weight on the front tires. So it's bouncy and less controllable, especially in wet weather, therefore not as safe. I've towed, Chevy Suburbans, I had a GMC Denali Yukon, that I had is an XL. All good towing vehicles, rated for towing the campers I was towing. So, they definitely could handle the job. And, yeah, I know they're Chevys. Oh, well, but I'd get a Ford now. Yeah, my Ford F-150 would be suiting me good, but anyway, I got my Ranger, and that's all I really need, because if I need to tow my camper, I'll just rent a pickup truck. I ain't going to bother buying one. I can rent one and do what I got to do. So anyway, as far as that goes, that is your trailer towing. Just a little bit of wisdom from experience and researching this in the past when I do tow. So you do want to know, but I had a Chevy Suburban I was towing, and the clutch fan went out. Talk about fun. Talk about overheating. And I was in a construction zone and no place to turn off. Yeah, I had people honking at me like mad. I was just trying to get out of there so I could pull over. But here nor there. But I do, of course, want you all to, of course, pay heed to that. And, of course, take care of your edge. Don't abuse it, and you shouldn't have any problems. But all I can say is, of course, this is Mac T Ford Edge. And, of course, join up here on this YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit that like button. And then, of course, I do have that blue PayPal up there if you feel like you want to donate to this cause. And then, of course, Facebook. And I will tell you all, if you're going to YouTube, I don't get notifications, folks. The notification button is broke. I don't get nothing. So if you want to really get a hold of me or anybody else in the group, go to Mac T Ford Edge on Facebook, and we will immediately answer your questions there, I think. We're pretty quick on stuff. But again, that's where to go on there. And last but not least, I'm going to play a little bit of music from the Band of One. And, of course, that is Kevin Messner's band. Give him a good look over at his webpage and check his music out on Facebook. And I think he's going to open up a group here pretty soon as far as on Facebook, so I can link his music to the Facebook group if he ever gets done lollygagging. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He's busy. But anyway, by all means, check his music out. Of course, Mercy Grill's going to do a couple one-liners for you, and I might toss in a little bit of bonus footage on the YouTube channel after this. But my feet hit the floor today, guys and gals, and I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too.
Thank you for watching Mac T's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.
Hey you, yeah you, watch this video up here. Watch this video. Or this one right down here. Watch that one. Either one, you'll have a good time. And then of course, watch this one also. Make sure you have some excellent time on your hands to learn all sorts of things about the Ford Edge.